Just what do you think you're doing?
What is going on? Listen, so you're thinking about, doing getting a pellet grill or doing some pellet smoking. Maybe you're just wacky like me and feel the need to bring, things that are probably way too much or way too big camping and overlanding. Maybe you're thinking about getting one for the house. Well, today we're going to look at something that kind of, is easy on me to lug it out here like this, and easy on the pocketbook and size factor if you're somebody that's just starting to get into pellet smoking. So what I have here today is, you guessed it, it's a portable pellet smoker. Now this unit right here is from a company called Hello Doctor. It's one of the companies on Amazon that is selling, they sell pellet smokers, pizza ovens, a couple things like that. What I have here is their miniature pellet smoker unit. The one I have here has got a red cover on it. Now that's just a bolt-on top here that goes on it, so it's just black underneath. Yeah, so let's take a peek at this thing. Hello Doctor. Lid opens up just like this. 250 square inches of grilling smoking surface right here. Underneath this grill here is a plate. Underneath there is the cup, the fire chamber essentially. Off this left side here is a trap door where all your pellets go in. And so, ain't nothing to do but to get this thing fired up. Now, I like pellet smoker, and I'll tell you why. It's real easy to come out and maybe you got propane, fire up a propane grill, knock out a couple burgers, some chicken, what have you, fires back down. You can go back inside the house. You don't really have to worry about it. It's not one of those things, I love charcoal. It's going to take, 20 minutes to get your charcoal running. Maybe it's another 10 till you got everything situated just right for cooking. Then you cook for 10, 15 minutes, and now you got these charcoal embers that are just sitting there burning for like the next hour. With pellet, that doesn't happen. I'm going to take this I think this is a 2-pound bag of pellets right here. So just as a gauge, dump it all right there in that pot right there. And this little bag right here filled up just level. So we're going to find out how long that runs on it. Anyways, close this little door. And then right here is a digital display that is going to run from 185, which is your smoke setting, all the way up to high, which is going to be 500 degrees. So what we're going to do is I am going to flip it all the way up to 500. And you can see, like I said, the little readout comes on. And right now it's starting off at 60 degrees, about ambient temperature here where I'm at currently. All right, so I watched it for a few seconds while it primed itself up. And then essentially, in the time it took me to walk over to the truck to get this bag of chicken and grab this set of tongs, we are up at 495 already. So this little unit comes up to temp really fast. Something I discovered while we're playing with this. Remember I said I'm not sure this is just for aesthetics? No, it's because it's nice and cool up top here right now currently. But right here at this piece, at this part of the lid, like 300 degrees right there, something like that. So while we're catching our last couple of 100 degrees here, let's talk about how this unit comes. You have to put the handle on the lid. There are a couple screws on the side that this piece goes, all metal, this piece right here goes on, bolted. You get legs, flip it over, and you 3-bolt these legs on, no problem. There's a hole, easy to get the screwdriver in. They actually even send you a little Allen wrench with a little screwdriver on the end of it. There is a tray. Let's see if I can pull that for you. There's a tray that hangs out in the back here. Oh, it's too hot to pull it out right now. You're gonna have to trust me on the little tray. So the tray over there is where, drippings and things are going to fall and whatnot. It comes with this little basket that's going to set inside just in here like this in case you want to get something elevated, multiple levers. You want to put some vegetables up top and grill meat on the bottom down there. You get this accessory kit. Now inside this accessory kit is a thermometer. There's a little plug right here underneath the knob. Plugs right in there. Poke that in your food. You know how it works. They give you a little set of tongs, a fork, a cooking fork, and a little spatula. Now, you know, super high quality metal, not necessarily, but I mean, you know, good enough. It's not, the handle's not pulling, nothing's pulling out of the handle. That's, you know, it's good enough to start out with. What's going on here right now is we are at 500 degrees. So we're going to take this. I'm going to unwind this here. Plug that in case we need it. I am battling smoke from this fire behind me. Smoke from this pellet smoker all at the same time. All right, pop her open. Smoke got me from all directions. And we're going to throw some of this chicken on here. Now, what I did was I blasted it up to 500 so I can get a little sear. We can just see. I wanted to see if it popped up that high, what kind of little sear you could get. And then we're going to lower this down because I'm going to smoke these chicken legs. I mean, I got the fattest chicken legs I could find. We're going to turn this down to about 2 1/4. We're going to let it run about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and come back and check them out later. That's why we're going to get this started while it's daylight. Right. So where I'm at right now is 12 of the fattest chicken legs you've ever seen in your life. 545 showing on the thermometer here still. What I'm going to actually end up doing is I'm going to take this thermometer that comes with the unit. We're going to shove our thermometer up inside of it. Slide her back on the deck. Let's check our pellet. I mean, we've barely even scratched the surface on using any pellet right now. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to turn it down to 225. I'm going to come back in like an hour. We'll flip them over and see what they look like. All right, look. We're at an hour at 225 with these big old chicken legs. Now, what I'm following is kind of a recipe like 2 hours, 225-ish, something like that. So we're going to take a look at what it looks like now. Let's take a peek at the evenness of the cook, anything like that, or hot spots, you know, whatnot. Let's get into this and take a look at it. Yeah, and like I said, I thought it would be pretty pink on here. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these over. Get a look at what the bottom side looks like. Well, not bad. A little bit of char bits here and there. They're huge, so, you know, I might need a little more time than had originally calculated, but okay. I'd say we've used under half. All right, look, we have reached the 2 hour. Actually, we're at about 2 hours, 10, 2:15, something like that. Let's pop her open for a little thermometer and see where we're at. Some of this outside row is still only at like 145, 150 out here. Just barely on the edge of done. Juicy. Plenty of juice coming out of there. Look at that. Forgot to mention earlier, while this was running, checking inside, it's only running 35 watts an hour. Fire up's about 180 while the coil is running to heat up to get the pellet started. Once it's got its own heat, drop down to 35 watts. You know, I'm about 70 watt hours out of my box, running this about 2 hours. All right, right at the end here. So let's see about what we're doing for pellets. We pretty much just down to the auger. So we ran 2 pounds of pellets, about £1 an hour at that low setting at 225. Probably near the door area, I probably could have had these chickens the other direction. Would have probably helped out quite a bit. Because the ones in the back are for sure done, and the couple that are actually facing in, they're done too. It's just really these 2 fat boys out here and this one on the end that didn't come around. I'm going to be honest. 2 years ago, I bought the pitboss, a little more expensive, but it didn't really operate any better than this thing. It's actually, you know, if I'm honest, it had a little slide trap, so there was supposed to be a hot spot in the middle. It never really gave me that hot spot. It just, even at 500, I couldn't get hard sear on that one. But when we had this fired up and I threw those chickens on earlier, man, we got a good sear to that. So, all right, listen, like I said, maybe you're wacky and you just want to take all kinds of pellet smokers and things everywhere, pizza ovens and stuff with you all the time. Maybe you just at the house and want to dabble in pellet smoking and don't want to buy a big unit. Maybe you don't have room for a big unit. The price is right for this one. Check it out. Link in the description. Check out my Amazon store. It really helps me out with the channel. I appreciate y'all. Take it easy.